Yoko. Hi, how's it going? This week has been quite warm and I feel relieved. It seems like it's going to get cold again this weekend, but there are moments when I feel spring in the sunlight and I can't wait for spring to come. The week started with a game where we had to make long words starting with each letter of winter. For example, for the letter I, we thought of international. For N, it was nationality. And for R, it was responsibilities, and so on. In the middle of all this, one classmate came up with the word electroencephalography for the letter E. What on earth is that? I had never seen or heard of that before. It made me realize how diverse the backgrounds of the people in our class were. I also learned that the longest word in English is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious from the Disney movie Mary Poppins. After that, the class started. We gave presentations on posters about stress relief methods that we created during last week's class. Then we learned about modal verbs such as have to, don't have to, should, and shouldn't. As Japanese people, we tend to avoid direct expressions. For example, when we think someone shouldn't do something, we often say they don't have to do it, rather than directly saying they shouldn't. For instance, if it's better not to have a wedding immediately, instead of strongly saying, you shouldn't have a wedding now, we might say, you don't have to have a wedding right away, to avoid creating a confrontational atmosphere. This isn't a particularly difficult topic as we learned it in junior high school, but when it comes to using these expressions in real-life situations, I find myself wondering, if I say shouldn't in this situation, won't it hurt the other person's feelings? I get caught up in overthinking, and it confuses me. When I consulted with the teacher, they explained that should is used in context of suggestion or recommendation, while have to indicates obligation or necessity. However, for now, the focus is not on whether the content of the sentence is correct, but on learning how to use these structures grammatically and getting used to them. I see. This isn't a class about values or ethics. It's a class about learning English. Still, when I actually engage in conversations, I want to choose my words with respect and consideration for others. This week, we spent 2 days learning about modal verbs, focusing particularly on the use of should during the latter half. When we use modal verbs to talk about past events, we use have plus past participle. For example, I should have gone. However, I often forget to add have and end up saying the sentence incorrectly. But this is also something we learned in junior high school. It's often said that many Japanese people are not good at English, but the truth is that we've been exposed to a lot of English through school education. But when it comes to speaking, the words just don't come out. It's such a waste because there are many bright young students who can read complex texts. I really wish that schools would include more lessons that focus on output and strengthening speaking skills. This has turned into a bit of a lecture, but I'll do my best to improve my own English skills. Thank you for watching and have a great day.